Good roads, stable power supply, good education, job opportunities, political inclusion, better healthcare, reduction of the cost of living were some of the things we were promised in tomorrow. We were so excited about the hope we had been fed with about tomorrow. But days went by, years went by, and tomorrow never came. Turned out there was never really a plan for tomorrow. It was all a lie to keep us in their mental slavery. Because with each day that goes by, I see my country being stripped of her glory. But we know better now. We are more aware now. It is time to take our country back from these hijackers who keep recycling themselves. If this tomorrow must come, we will have to create it ourselves. But this time with someone we can trust. Someone who understands our pain. And so I call on every Nigerian youth. Come 2023, come out and vote. Because our vote is our power. When you vote, vote for a man we can trust. Vote for a breath of fresh air. Vote Abubakar for president. Growing up as a little boy, we were told every day that we were the leaders of tomorrow. Good roads, stable power supply, good education, job opportunities, political inclusion, better healthcare, reduction of the cost of living were some of the things we were promised in tomorrow. We were so excited about the hope we had been fed with about tomorrow. But days went by, years went by, and tomorrow never came. Turned out there was never really a plan for tomorrow. It was all a lie to keep us in their mental slavery. Because with each day that goes by, I see my country being stripped of her glory. But we know better now. We are more aware now. It is time to take our country back from these hijackers who keep recycling themselves. If this tomorrow must come, we will have to create it ourselves. But this time with someone we can trust. Someone who understands our pain. And so I call on every Nigerian youth. Come 2023, come out and vote. Because our vote is our power. When you vote, vote for a man we can trust. Vote for a breath of fresh air. Vote Abubakar for president.
This nation for the first time is most divided like never before. This nation for the first time stands in a place and position of its greatest challenges, perhaps since the Civil War. This is the most challenging period in the economy of our nation. This is the most challenging period in the security, infrastructure or statue of our nation. This is the most challenging situation in almost every facet of the unity of this nation. And there is no one man, as far as the current permutation, the current arrangement is concerned, that is most positioned to salvage and to save the situation like Abubakar. I'll tell you the truth, we all know the presidential aspirants that are out there. By experience, Atiku is far and above every one of them. He has been an elected governor, he has been a vice president for 8 years, and so many other experiences that he's bringing to board. None of them can boast of that experience. None of them possesses that kind of experience coming into this election. He is the one man who has told us he will unify this country, and we've seen his antecedents. He has friends across the length and breadth of this country like none of those presidential aspirants do. He is a man who has connected well with every Nigerian. He's not a bigot. He's not a tribalist. He's a man who knows nobody after your creed or tribe. He's a man who knows you as a Nigerian. Atiku is a nationalist. Atiku is a patriot. This is the truth of the matter. This is the kind of man that the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, is presenting to Nigerians. And I can assure you, come 2023, Nigerians will live to celebrate. Nigerians will live to be happy with themselves that a man has come to save Nigeria, that Atiku Abubakar has come to save Nigeria, because that has been in the core of his heart. That has been his heart cry for all these decades, for all these years that he has sought to be the president of this country. And I assure you, he will unite warring factions of this country. He will bring about the security of this country. He will bring about the economic development of this nation, and all Nigerians will be proud. Today, Nigeria has become a laughing stock in the scheme of things, and even on the African continent. We used to be the giant of Africa. We used to be the leader of Africa. But all of a sudden, we've become the laughing stock of Africa. Atiku will change that narrative. Atiku will change that story. Atiku is the best man. He is the right man. He is the man positioned to take this nation to its glory land.
As one, we can get it done. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Flight 2023 Atiku Okowa 2023. I have my co-pilot here with me, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, keeping track on all navigation systems. Our destination is a united Nigeria. Right now, we're cruising at 2022 feet above sea level. Before we arrive at our destination, let me give you a brief update on what to expect at our destination. Number 1. The temperature is going to be hot on security issues. 2. The people are going to be better educated, and the educational system and healthcare will be accessible to every citizen. 3. The economy is going to be thriving and booming. And of course, there'll be true federalism. This and many more to be expected for a united and prosperous Nigeria. So sit back and relax, and before you know it, if we all join hands together, we shall arrive at the new united Nigeria we all dream of soon enough. My name is Atiku Abubakar. As one, we can get it done.
I believe in Atiku Abubakar's capacity and the presidency, because Atiku is one of the unifying factors that Nigeria needs now. If you look at the scenario of what is happening in Nigeria right now, you'll find out that Nigeria needs a unifier, somebody that can break the ties and able to stop these issues of insurgencies in every area of the country. I like Atiku Abubakar because he believes in human resource. He believes in raising men. You understand me? He believes in the youth. And also, he believed in one Nigeria. I believe in his fatherhood and his legacy that he had laid before with the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo. He worked perfectly, and at least in Nigeria as a whole, they are one of the best government under the support of Atiku Abubakar. So I believe in his candidacy, and I believe in his presidential aspirant for 2023. And I believe that he will do better.
As one, we can get it done.
See, first and foremost, I love the fact that Atiku Abubakar is a father. Atiku Abubakar is an epitome of democracy. And because he's a man of purpose, a man of dream, and of a truth, he's really ready to take on the challenges as a responsible father and as a leader. Now, not just a leader, but a steward coming to salvage Nigeria, to rescue Nigeria from the ill-fated quagmire this present administration has brought Nigeria into, and that is the singular reason why I want him. And apart from that also, his fatherly nature made him to be an empathic person. He feels the pain of the all and sundry. I see in him a true Nigerian, not someone that plays regional politics. Yes, Atiku Abubakar is a bridge builder. Atiku Abubakar is a unifier in a true meaning. You see, I love him so much because he sees himself above a region of our northern extract. He sees himself as a true Nigerian. I am from Niger Delta. I was born in the north, and as God will have it, I've traversed far and wide this nation. And I come to realize that Atiku's time is now. because everyone on the street is singing Atiku. In fact, Atiku is being preached in virtually every household as it stands right now. So his time is now. God has destined him, and no one is going to take it away from him.
As one, we can get it done.
Yeah, it's a good morning in Abuja. I don't know what's happening elsewhere in Nigeria, but we see that the political scene is taking a new turn and everyone is trying to sit up and get their games right. Well, looking at insecurity around the country, and one would just wonder, it's great to ever wake up in Nigeria every morning. How are you today?
I'm fine. I mean, I think the highlight of my weekend would have to be the interview with Dele Alake.
Oh.
Yes, questioning the source of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's wealth and his identity. I mean, this has been an ongoing conversation for a very long time, and it's just interesting that nobody seems to have the answers to this question. Everybody seems aloof. Nobody knows how he's made his money. Nobody knows his true identity.
I mean,
Wow.
sorry, one thing we know for sure is he definitely made money through the drug cartel.
Allegedly.
Because we have caught evidence and papers
Yes,
for that.
yes.
So that's one thing we know for sure.
But then Dele Alake is alleging that his money was made from stock, trading in stock. And we wonder why we haven't seen any digitization of some sort while he was governor of Lagos. I mean, the only link that he has to technology will have to be Alpha Beta. If there's proof actually that he owns Alpha Beta.
Well, leaving Asiwaju Tinubu, I'm moving to a sad one for Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. And we wonder exactly what's going on around the country, because one cannot just set out each day and no hope of coming back to your home.
Yeah.
Well, I think let's just take that in and look at what we have in the news this morning.
First and foremost, I love the fact that Atiku Abubakar is the father. Atiku Abubakar is an epitome of democracy, and because he's a man of purpose, a man of dream, and of a truth, he's really ready to take on the challenges as a responsible father and as a leader. Now, not just a leader, but a steward coming to salvage Nigeria, to rescue Nigeria from the ill-fated quagmire this present administration has brought Nigeria into, and that is the singular reason why I want him. And apart from that also, his fatherly nature made him to be an empathic person. He feels the pain of the all and sundry. I see in him a true Nigerian, not someone that plays regional politics. Yes, Atiku Abubakar is a bridge builder. Atiku Abubakar is a unifier in a true meaning. You see, I love him so much because he sees himself above a region of our northern extract. He sees himself as a true Nigerian. I am from Niger Delta. I was born in the north, and as God will have it, I've traversed far and wide this nation. And I come to realize that Atiku's time is now, because everyone on the street is singing Atiku. In fact, Atiku is being preached in virtually every household as it stands right now. So his time is now. God has destined him, and no one is going to take it away from him.
As one, we can get it done.
You're welcome. If you're still watching, you're still on Headline Roundup. I'm sorry for a little bit of technical issues there, but let's look at the first headline news. We have Kwankwaso's group, and Nigerians are looking at it. Is Kwankwaso going to pitch his tent for Atiku at this time? Because we're looking at the situation in the political scene. And one will wonder, if Kwankwaso steps down for Atiku, what does that portend for the Atiku scam?
Well, I mean, I don't think it portends anything really. I don't know what he's going to bring to the table. Kwankwaso has actually come out to say that he's in this for the win, even though he doesn't look it at the moment. But then I don't know why we discuss this every other year. He has an antecedent of, there's an antecedent of him doing things like this, and I think Kwankwaso is just out to sell out to the highest bidder, really. We've seen Kwankwaso being linked to the Labour Party candidate. We've seen him singing praises of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And, I think it's a game of time, really. It's a thing of time. We're just sitting and we're waiting and we're watching to see where this goes, really. But I think it's about to sell to the highest bidder.
Well, these are interesting political times, and you would wonder each story comes up with another one. Intrigues, anyway. But painting it as it is, Kwankwaso stepping down for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will actually make a massive move for the North to see that, okay, really? we have it all locked from the North. So, and if he has any aligning factors with other candidates, they also have to see that, Atiku is a viable candidate at this time, and actually it's having a kind of positive turn for him when coming to the polls, because you're looking at it that Nigerians are looking for who exactly to support.
But what is the political value? What is his political relevance at this time?
When someone like Shekarau
has the fact.
Well, closing up ranks is actually the case here. When you're going into this kind of election, you need to close up your ranks. You need to have more. In politics, what we have is more numbers, you're winning the game. Mm-hmm. So look at it. Shekarau.
Where does he have these numbers? Because, in Kano State, which is essentially his stronghold, we have Shekarau now in PDP, we have him there still in NNPP, and we have Ganduje in APC. So where are these numbers? Really?
Yeah, pre-2015-2019 election, we had the Kwankwaso movement.
But he wasn't able to deliver in 2019.
Exactly. But that's not the issue here. The core issue here is actually locking your block. Mm-hmm. You have what we call political blocks. So when you are talking about the blocks here, in Kano, he has this massive block there. In Borno State, he has this massive block there. And look at it contesting with someone like Shetima, who has Borno, or is thinking that it's all to themselves. And they are also hoping on if Kwankwaso will actually back the APC candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but it's not happening for them yet. So, like you likely said, he has been linked to several other candidates, but now it's coming close. There was a rhetoric I was raising online the other day. I said, December is coming. It's going to be hot for most political candidates who feel that the euphoria of the social media is only where they can remain. But when it comes to reality, it's all pan out well.
Well, I think this is all a market for Kwankwaso, really. And I don't know if he still has as much hold as he used to. I don't know if he still has that, really. But time will tell.
Time will tell, exactly. Time will tell.
Moving on, we look at His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's statement that 2023 election is going to be a choice for Nigerians between, certainty of a better Nigeria and the failure of the APC.
Yeah, interestingly, something that wakes in my mind is the voice of Goodluck Jonathan about the 2015 election. He said, your choice has been set before you. That when I leave, that you will now tend to understand why I was telling you not to vote for the other choice. And now Nigerians have
seems to have been vindicated.
Exactly. So now it's the same choice now is left for Nigerians to choose between the fair choice, the only appropriate choice anyway.
Tested.
Exactly, tested. One who has gone into it and come out, and one has been tested enough to see, economy, good. Security-wise, good. What's happening with governance, good. So I don't think Nigerians will have any other option than to listen to the voice of honor here and do the right thing.
What do you think about this statement, really?
As he calls himself the unifier, and this is something that has been proven. As he said, the economy, under the former president Obasanjo, he was in charge of the economy, and we all know the strides that Nigeria had under that administration, and insecurity as well. This is a man that knows, let's say, the innermost workings of the country, so he'll be able to tackle it with all preciseness, other than the opposition party.
Not forgetting that actually he worked with also a general who is actually General Olusegun Obasanjo. So I think this is a man that actually when he works with you, he learns from you, he takes up exactly what is needed, the core business of the day. So I feel that this time, security-wise, he's going to be taking a cue from what exactly they did all through the administration. And he has been speaking about state policing which is actually critical to our security apparatus in this country. And looking at the security agencies, looking at them, like they're a little bit helpless at this time. And Atiku will come bring in a new vigor into exactly what is required of them.
I think moving on from this government that has seemingly seems to have lied to Nigerians about everything.
Exactly.
We need a government that is more transparent, that is honest with us. I mean, looking at the candidates that are before us, at something as minute as their businesses, you know, what they've run. And we see one person, you know, one candidate, I mean, he's the only person that we've seen that we know these are his businesses, these are, you know, this is what he owns. Legally. And you're looking at the other candidates and one says this is a family business and he's trying to detach himself as much from that business. The other says, I don't know Alpha Beta, I'm not related to Alpha Beta in any way. I mean, this is the one person. We're seeing transparency, we're seeing track record, we're seeing how much he's been able to move his businesses and acknowledge that these are his businesses. We know where he gets his money from.
Absolutely.
We understand, and I feel like at this point, moving on, if we're going to have a better Nigeria at this point, we need a government that is going to be transparent with us, that is going to be honest to the citizens, that the citizens can trust. I mean, there's only one man really who has shown us that.
Yeah, looking at the posturing of Atiku Abubakar's administration, is one that actually gives you the feel that the government is actually doing what going to work. Because this is a man that has set himself aside from every other kind of politics that we have known. He's a man that has gone into business and has done well. He has gone into governance and he has done extremely good for himself and for the country. So I'm looking at it from this angle. Nigerians are expectant of a government that will actually remove them from this quagmire of insecurity, inflation, you know. So we're looking at it that this is someone who has done something critical for, like pre-2015, people were of the thought that a general, Muhammad Buhari, who has not added to self or to community, who has not added no value to himself or even to his community over 30 years, that why should you be bringing him back? But now, look at the posturing of an Atiku. It's showing you that this man has not
consistently giving back to the society.
Exactly. So we are expecting so much come 20 May from May actually from May 2023. Nigerians will actually be having a kind of leap of faith.
I mean, it's also interesting to note that some of the things that he has been proposing are being taken into consideration even by this government, despite attacking him. I mean, we've seen he first made the suggestion about privatizing the power sector, the NNPC, and you know, energy. And I remember when that statement came up, a lot of people accused him of wanting to buy. And we've seen this happen. We've seen NNPC now quietly, very quietly.
Sorry to cut short. You cannot just rubbish a good thing. No matter the propaganda, you can't push a good thing away.
But why accuse him of trying to buy and then go behind and do the same exact thing that he was proposing? I mean, we also seen that with you know, when he's talked about state policing, and now we have local security networks, which is essentially state policing, you know, springing up all over the country.
See a man bringing real solution to the table, giving you the direction. But you know what we have with the APC? What they do is just blackmail. Emotional blackmail won't work in 2023. Yeah, because people are already being pushed to the brim and they want real solution. And this is what Atiku is bringing to the table. Yeah. Let's move on.
Let's move on to Osun State. Where
more politics. More politics.
Accusing the APC of intent to burn, you know, the INEC, the Beavers machine in the INEC.
Exactly. But you know, what I see here is a character known with the APC. They cry for why they commit the offense. Now they go ahead and actually break loose, and then they tell you that you are actually the one breaking the things loose. Now, it's good intelligence that PDP are crying out now before it happens, because Boyega Oyelola is in court with the governor-elect, Senator Ademola Adeleke. If evidences are being destroyed, I don't think that court case would actually end well for the PDP. So they are crying out now.
This is a repeat of what we saw in the previous election cycle in Osun State.
Exactly.
Once again, Senator Ademola Adeleke has won fair and square. He has been issued with a certificate of return. I'm of the opinion that the governor of Osun State, Boyega Oyelola, should quietly and honorably, hand over you're an incumbent and you've lost, the people have made their choice. It's not about you, it's bigger than you. You need to step down and, you know, when the time comes, step down and hand over to the governor-elect.
You know, you see also in the country, in other countries where actually people hand over peacefully. And if you have any grievances, why don't you approach the court? Let the court handle the cases. Don't go violent with it.
Yeah.
Because at this stage, what are you trying to actually mentor young ones who are trying to come into the electoral process? Because we have the new entrance into the political cycle at this time. Those that actually have not experienced any voting season. So now, if they start picking up this kind of hints from an election which was actually adjudged free and fair, and it ends up that you're burning up the Viva's machine, and which are going to be presented at the court, the tribunal. So I think government should just embrace the leap of saying, "Oh, come, I don't want any issues anymore.
Yeah.
I know I lost this election. The spirit of sportsmanship allows you to do what? Embrace him and let everything go.
I mean, also,
if you want to come back
moving
again,
forward into 2023, it's important that the government lets us know that they dissociate themselves as much as possible from influencing this case, because it's going to, for us, it's going to be a preview of what is going to happen in the 2023 election. If you come in and you step in as, you know, as was done in the last election, then what you're telling people is that in 2023, the presidential election, that what we're probably going to be looking at is the incumbents trying to thwart democracy.
Well, I think Michael might have some other opinion here.
It's just to support what she said. It might also be a plot as a matter of fear, like you said, for the federal next year's election, to try and make away and make do it and destroy as much evidence as possible, and things that can also work against them, as they've seen that this election was fair and fair, and people have actually pushed back against the current government. They might be doing everything they can to try and suppress the voice of the people as much as possible. That's what I think.
Yeah, like taking a cue from you for what you just said, like when Godwin Emefiele was actually allegedly plotting to run for election, and the public raised their voices and said, no, this will not happen. And I don't know, maybe it's a rumor or the facts to put out there that the INEC materials are actually allegedly removed from the CBN. So I think Nigerians are beginning to have this sense of following the process. They don't want a situation whereby their vote does not count. And now the BVR's situation in Osun, that they are being accused that they might go ahead and burn this. And anything can happen in Nigeria.
Anything can happen. I mean, we've seen snakes swallow money, we've seen monkeys run with money. So anything can happen, really.
So I think precaution actually, and let the security agencies at this time beef up their work around these where these evidences are and keep them in safe, because the court is going to need them.
Yeah. Yes, they will. Okay, moving on. The Social Democratic Party's presidential candidate, Adebayo, has his comments, obviously, over the current administration, that it's reading with insecurity, bad economy, unemployment, you know, that these are the things that have characterized Buhari's 7 years in office.
IJ, this comes with reality of what is actually going on with every Nigerian. This is not just about what Sdp'S Adebayo has said. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is that this is in Niger area. You actually be seeing the truth and the reality of what you're going to meet out there. You're waking up with hunger, and you're going out to meet other people who are already with the toxicity of the hunger. So it's an episode anyway, because Adebayo has said it all clear, and it's the truth. Insecurity looks us in the face every day. See the incidents going around in Abuja.
The bad economy, the inflation. I think I saw a video recently that had the whole top to bottom song thing, and they were basically showing us how the prices of things had gone up. You know, almost twice. Things are almost twice as much, cost twice as much as they used to. From eggs to beans to rice, everything costs twice as much as they used to.
I think that's
Our
correct.
dollar has gone from 157, 175. Right now, dollar is about 700 and something, and you're wondering, that's a colossal failure.
800 before the end of the year.
No, they're actually looking at 1,000 before the end of the year. That's
Actually, the bread is about 1,000 now. Anyway,
a loaf of bread is at 700,
yeah,
800.
I was watching the Arewa Voices on the same station. I saw what Abdul was trying to tell the public. You see, a time when water was just 5 naira, and it jumped to 20 naira, and now you cannot just get 3 pure water for 15 naira anymore. They tell you that you bring the next 20 naira.
And this is against the backdrop of minimum wage. Minimum wage was approved in 2020, between 2019, 2020.
Exactly.
And then the minimum wage currently is at 33,000 naira. And you wonder what can 33,000 naira get?
VAT deducted.
Yeah, but what can you get for 33,000 naira a month?
It's not even enough for a bag of rice, is it?
I'm not even, how many people can afford
for the bag of rice?
And you're looking at, you have to pay your rent.
Wow.
You're in a country where, you know, we had inflation rates go up as much as 33.3%. You're in the same country, you're having people earning 33,000 naira monthly. How are they supposed to afford these things? How are your citizens? And this is why we've seen a high, rise in insecurity.
Exactly. You have
because
kidnapping. People are beginning to see kidnapping as a kind of lucrative business, whereby even families even plan how to kidnap family members. You know, the case like the case in the Rugby where the man came back from the US, told his brother he wanted to start a business. What the brother did was to plan again and pick up the brother kidnapped. And when he found out there was no money, he told the kidnappers to release his brother, but they had killed him already. Oh. You see, the spirit of insecurity is beginning to grow from not having enough as a person to thinking about alternative or how to actually get something for yourself. And people are beginning to devise mysterious means of actually getting by each day.
And you would think that...
And we have a government which is not even listening.
No, you think that with all of this, they will be looking for ways to give back to the society, ways to build the society and, curb these menaces. But no, they have decided to weaponize this poverty. And so we have them in every election cycle coming out to offer people money, trying to buy their votes because they understand that these people are poor.
Yeah, look at what happened in Ekiti and see what happened in the Osun.
We had one of the presidential candidates asking people to vote and, no votes, no money. How can you do that? That is a very insensitive thing to do.
And let's not forget that with all this, the current candidate of the party says he wants to continue from where this administration has stopped. So it speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself, really.
Look at his states. Let's take a cue from the states. The states, in spite of insecurity, you see flooding in Lagos State. That is claimed to be a model state for other African countries. And you're proud to say such. And you have a Fashola who is actually from your state also, who is actually the Minister for Works and Housing. And they call him a super minister. I don't know what's super about his ministry that he's handling. Because Nigeria by now, like you said, other Jonathan's, that any government that has insecurity lasting for this long, should be figured.
The entire administration has been filled with insecurity. We started the headline with Senator Ifeanyi Ubah.
Yeah, that's next on the news.
If someone like that convoy can be like nobody is safe.
I mean, we're looking. Buhari's convoy has been attacked.
Nobody is safe in this country.
I was coming in the bus yesterday, and I engaged some people, and the first thing they said was, you'll be surprised that the citizens are all aware about what's going on. And we are shocked that the government will come out and say they are unaware. Like the minister was on channels the other day with Shewa Kumaloyi and was saying that he's not aware. But you ask him a question, next thing they say you're not aware. So now you're looking at the next on the queue for our news, Senator Ifeanyi Ubah's convoy being attacked.
I mean, someone said on a lighter note that when Shetima said they are trying to replicate Borno State and Lagos State across the entire country. And I was asking if they are trying to flood Nigeria with insecurity.
Wow. And actually that's become a reality.
That's exactly what it is.
Because you can see young men, their lives are even, actually is a shocking one. A very close friend of mine was in that convoy. Obum is gone now. He was shot down yesterday. Wow. So you look at it that you have people who are even close to these people. It does not even have to go too far from you. Insecurity is so close to you these days. So you're looking at those lives lost at this time. The families are in agony. You know, what are they going to be taking home from these incidents? You know, you're keeping everybody on their toe at this time. So we're looking at a situation whereby the government is insensitive about the situations of the citizenry. And, well, we'll
We'll go on a short break now. When we return, we'll be looking at the foreign and sports news. To stay with us.
See, first and foremost, I love the fact that Atiku Abubakar is a father. Atiku Abubakar is an epitome of democracy. And because he's a man of purpose, a man of dream, and of a truth, he's really ready to take on the challenges as a responsible father and as a leader. Now, not just a leader, but a steward coming to salvage Nigeria, to rescue Nigeria from the ill-fated quagmire this present administration has brought Nigeria into, and that is the singular reason why I want him. And apart from that also, his fatherly nature made him to be an empathic person. He feels the pain of the all and sundry. I see in him a true Nigerian, not someone that plays regional politics. Yes, Atiku Abubakar is a bridge builder. Atiku Abubakar is a unifier in its true meaning. You see, I love him so much because he sees himself above a region of our northern extract. He sees himself as a true Nigerian. I am from Niger Delta. I was born in the north, and as God will have it, I've traversed far and wide this nation. And I come to realize that Atiku's time is now, because everyone on the street is singing Atiku. In fact, Atiku is being preached in virtually every household as it stands right now. So his time is now. God has destined him, and no one is going to take it away from him.
As one, we can get it done.
Welcome back. If you're still with us, this is Headline Roundup. Now, this is the foreign segment and sports segment. We're merging this together for today. And let's quickly look at the 9/11. I mean, today they're actually looking at 21 years after the 9/11 bombing in the U.S. And we saw President Biden coming out to restate his commitment, to fight terror across the world.
Actually, what actually hits me more is back home here. How we actually handle our history, because you see people come out each day and try to remember those who have passed and actually reflect on actually what it means to them. But we have a country whereby we don't even remember those who have actually impacted. Look at the Ebola issue. Look at the Lassa fever. We have heroes who actually who are committed to the cause, and nobody actually remembers them.
I mean, I think it's going too far. Like looking at last year, October 2020, 2020, yes, with the NSAS protest, that people lost their lives protesting, against treatments that they felt were inhumane, that they did not deserve. And we had peaceful.
Well, I prefer you call it the name, the police brutality.
Police brutality.
The state's anger on the people.
Yes, and
people who have been employed to actually protect the people.
And it's the same people that they were protesting against.
Same people will go to the same markets with. They buy from the same place, they feel the economy like we feel it. The police, you understand the fact that
they're being paid from payers' money.
And now we have what is going on in the US, and you loved such country, and you reflect on your country, and you feel so sober that the country does not even respect the life of even just a citizen. Because we have the Chibok issue. We have the people of the Kaduna-Abuja Railway who are still in captivity up to now. And you look at it and reflect and say, why do you have this great and gross insensitivity in your own country?
Yeah. I think what's your take on this, really?
As you said, this is a country where we all saw what happened on 20th of October 2020. But rather than acknowledge it, they're trying to say nothing happened. I mean, there's been white paper, black paper, red paper, everything has been...
All colors.
All colors have been done, and it has been clear that something happened, but the federal government is still trying to cover up. We as the youth, obviously, we know, and they'll forever be in our hearts. But as you said, we just pray we have a government that actually acknowledges and knows something happened.
All right, moving on quickly to the sports news. EFL is resuming Monday.
Well, I think the football season cannot be held back with the Queen's exit. And people are beginning. I think that's where you see people who listen to the pulse of the people. It has a system that listens to the pulse of the people, because if we're not listening, people want to engage themselves with something. And now, let this event continue, while we also acknowledge the fact that we've lost someone, which is a balance for me.
Yeah,
it's a balance for me.
The players are going to appear with their
black bands. Yeah,
they're still trying to pay respect to the late Queen.
Exactly. And Well,
Rest in peace
we
to
can't
the
wait to
Queen.
just get back to the football season again, and let's know who owns the remote in the houses, and
Ask for life.
probably, this time you have to hand over back the remote to the male folks in the house,
Yeah.
and see how the female folks actually sit back and get them the juice, the popcorn, and Pepsis. Well, that's much we can have today on Headline Roundup, and I remain Iko Chidozie.
I'm Ijoma Udumode.
Michael.
Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles, AtikuLive.